All right, Homesteader family, welcome to this edition of the Fireside Chat. I'm going to just try to zoom in, but zoom out a little bit to get that fire in place for those of you that enjoyed looking at the fire. So, in this episode of the Fireside Chat, we're going to talk about life changes. We're going to talk about life and depression. We're going to talk about hard times and things we don't think about, things we need to think about, and things we should think about. Adjust the stand just a little bit more to get the stove a little more level in the picture. So a lot of us, we're going into this holiday season. Like I've talked about, I have my suicide video that dealt with my depression back in the day. With the holiday season, there's a lot of people going through depression right now. With all the hard times and life changes people are having to make right now, between job loss, higher inflation, the world changing, society becoming more society, less community, and other things like that, it's tending to get worse and worse and worse. With that, people aren't sure what to do, where to go, how to go, or what to do about their situation. So with life changes, it's not just about what's happening right now. It's about where you are right now and what you think of your circumstances. So going back to before I started this homesteading channel, when I lived in the city of 750,000 people, working 18-hour days, running multiple businesses, chasing that dollar. I was going out to clubs, I was drinking, I was going out to Vegas, going to casinos, spending lots of money, hanging out with lots of people. And that's supposed to make you think you're doing well in life. It's all about what we're taught. And that's where we need to change our life. That's where we need to change our way of thinking. Because in school, we're taught you got to get better education. You got to go get a college degree. You have to go get a job that pays you millions of dollars so you can buy more and more stuff. And as the saying goes, the more money you have, the more debt you go into, because you're learning to live a lavish lifestyle. We're taught in school, you want an expensive house. It used to be a white picket fence, 2-story house, family of 4. That was the American dream. Now you have to have a McMansion. You have to have sports cars. You have to be at least a millionaire. You have to know about different investment advice. That's the new American dream. Well, when you're chasing those dreams that are put into your mind, that are told to you that that's the way you need to live, that's what you need to do, you don't look for happiness anymore. You think that is happiness until you break that cycle. So when I finally broke that cycle and I lost everything, I was humbled. I was knocked off my feet, placed down in the dirt, and made to look up at my past life, look up at what I lived, look up how I want to live, how I want to be, what I want to do, and everything like that. In that aspect, I learned what I was taught throughout life was not the life that I wanted to live. I wanted to make a life change. I wanted to be more wholesome, more humble, more in tune with the earth, have that connection with animals again, live a little more simple. And in those life changes, depression can creep in. Because when you go from having luxuries in life, like running water, electricity where you can flick a switch, or a McMansion where you have plenty of space, to going down to a shed, a tiny home, a converted bus, a tent, or in my case in 2011, to a hobo tent. You may have water, you may not. You may have electricity, you may not. And when you're used to a certain lifestyle and all that's taken away to change your life, depression can creep in because you're like, oh, I was so much happier back then. What we need to do is we need to change our mindset. We need to do the total life change, not just change where we are, what we're doing, but we also need to change how we think. We need to look at all those luxuries cost money. That money was made from us giving up our time, doing a job that we didn't enjoy. So with those life changes, I hope some of you think about it and realize and look at where you are now, what you're doing now, and are you truly happy? Like I've said in many videos, we are very, very, very lucky to have this little bit of time on this planet. Because if anybody in our ancestry had died from anything, we would not be here today. So working a 9 to 5 in an office, doing something you don't like, or being a trash man, or being a post office man, or woman, or whatever, playing in the NFL, doing whatever. If it's not your dream, if it doesn't truly make you happy, then you need a lifestyle change. You need to change your life. You need to change your mindset and go for what you enjoy. That's where homesteading came in for me. It alleviated a lot of depression from laying on the couch every day, just watching TV, to giving me a purpose in life. And that's the problem with most jobs nowadays. It's not giving us a purpose. And that is one thing that is increasing the depression rate across the world, is people that aren't satisfied, aren't happy, aren't gaining anything out of the job they're in. When it's wintertime, when there's less sun, when you're not outside able to go out and do things, if you're in a colder climate, if you don't like the cold and you hibernate like I did in Colorado, then depression sets in more. It tends to percolate and break through and say, hey, look at me, I'm depression. I want you to realize I'm here, because you're not doing anything. You don't have a purpose. And that gives you the purpose to do something. If you don't change your mindset, if you don't break through that depression, then hard times are coming ahead. When you change your lifestyle, hard times come ahead. Just as I am trying to get over to my homestead and look at sacrificing the running water I have here, the electricity I have here, the convenience I have here, to going back to a more simple, rough, rugged lifestyle is a bit difficult. But at the same time, living this lifestyle over here also comes with some depression, because I'm not able to look out my window and see the animals roaming around in front of my house. I can't sit on the porch and have a cup of coffee with animals right by me. I can't walk out the back door and take a walk with the goats. I have to get in my car, drive 6 miles to the homestead, knowing I have another 6 miles to come home. I can't have lunch. I don't have an area to cook lunch and all that stuff. So it's a lifestyle change. So I just want to make a little bit of a fireside chat. I want to talk about these type of things because I know there's a lot of people out there suffering with depression. I know a lot of people are going through hard times. And I want you to think and I want you to make changes. I want you to go for what you want. If you want to live in the city, if you want that high rise apartment, go for it. If that's what truly makes you happy. But if you're only going for that high rise apartment in the city because you were taught that in school, that shows you're successful in life, that's not a sign of success. That's only a sign of success for those that are greedy, those that chase money. When you're chasing money, like I did before I started this channel. Hey, Duke and us, how you guys doing tonight? Excuse me. But when you're chasing money like I did before I started homesteading, you think you have everything. Hey, aliens and Dead Spencer. When you're living that lifestyle of chasing money, you believe what you're taught growing up. You believe what you're taught in school. You believe what college puts in your mind, that you have to change. That change is only going into a society. That change is not the change that you might want. Don't chase that money. Don't worry about having the nicest things. And I think that all comes with age. That all comes with life experience. The older I get, the less I care about what people think, the less I care about what I live in, the less I care about looks. Like this building, you've seen, I'm in a restaurant, open walls, termites, broken wood, no insulation, not the prettiest paint job outside, not the prettiest tin roof. And that's a convenience of city life. When you live in the city and you're chasing that money, you want the best looking things because you're trying to show up the next person. That is part of the depression that is caused in a lot of people, because you can't buy the most Christmas presents for your kid that you see posted by all your friends on Facebook. Or your kids come to you and say, Mommy, why did this person get so many more presents than me? Does Santa not love me? Or your friends say, well, why didn't you come on this vacation with us? It didn't cost that much. It didn't cost that much to them because they had more than you. Hence, where the depression creeps in, because then you feel you're not good enough. You feel you're not worthy enough. You feel they're better than you. In the homesteading lifestyle, if you watch homesteading channels, I don't see any multi-million-dollar homesteads where everything looks perfect. There's no rust, there's no dust, there's no muck or mud or hair. That's in every homestead. You're going to have animals, you're going to have the dirt. You're not going to be chasing that money. You're going to be living a purposeful life. Your purpose in the homesteading life is seeing your plants produce food, produce fruit and nuts, and the flower gardens produce flowers, and those flowers produce nectar and pollen for your bees, and your bees to produce honey, and your land to produce crops and grasses and pastures, and your animals to produce babies for you, for meat for your table, for animals to sell, for the animals to give you love, to fill that void in your life. This is what we should be thinking about. These are the lifestyle changes we should be going towards. Going back to our roots. Getting away from the depression. given us something to do besides blindlessly sitting on a phone, watching video after video, TikTok after TikTok, Facebook post after Facebook post. I remember being younger and being on Farmville and being where I had to be on the computer every so many minutes to gather my crops, to build the next barn, to plow the next field. And all those hours I wasted on the computer playing a stupid game that I could be doing in real life on a small little patch of dirt, or 40 acres of dirt, or 120 acres of dirt. Try to get off the computers. The computers don't do anything for you. The only thing the computers do for you is if you're doing your research. If you're trying to make those life changes, if you're trying to get out of depression, if you're trying to get past the hard times, use the computer for that. Don't use it to drown away your life. Don't waste your life. Life is too precious for it. Like I've said before, and I posted on Facebook, life is like water. It's a precious resource. When it's gone, you die. You don't want to waste your life. You want to drink life. You want to be refreshed by life. You want to be hydrated by life. You want to use your life to do better here. So I hope everybody enjoys. I hope everybody has a great night. I hope this fireside chat brought some thoughts to your mind. And I hope you think about not chasing the money, not living in the city, and finding a purposeful life where you can find happiness, wholesomeness, and fulfillment. With that, remember, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be. Have a great night.